Good morning, or good afternoon. Well, still morning. Let's take a quick look at yesterday. Well, 2 out of 3, over 2.5 goals. Professional Development League, don't forget, 7 out of 10 matches so far this season have been overs. So we'll be a tad unlucky, as indeed was the case here with an odds-on favourite at home, with a decent set of over stats recently as well. But don't forget, 3 of them will fail out of every 10. African Cup of Nations, well, it was a graveyard for odds-on favourites yesterday. Ghana, Nigeria, both losing with home advantage and odds-on as well. Not so Morocco. Did you have a punt? I did tell you in the video between 4-0 and 9-0. Pick 3. You've got a good chance of it coming in. We're expecting a win to nil, and with 1.06, we're expecting an avalanche of goals. So add those two together and create yourself a little bit of value. Oh, how about another odds-on favourite going astray at home? So be careful of Africa today. The market's not quite reading it properly, is it? Looking at the Nations League yesterday, few dead rubbers. Not a set of matches I wanted to get involved in late on. Look, for example, Denmark only needed the draw, and indeed that's what they got. Spain and Switzerland was a dead rubber. Superb result for Scotland. Arguably, you could have laid the very, very late draw at low odds because of the need for the win. And that would have provided you with a decent result. But as you can see, the odds-on favourites are still struggling a tad. But fair enough, red card. They did survive the vast majority of the match. 1-0 up against 10 men. So good stuff. Was this any late action? Liechtenstein and San Marino. A superb result for San Marino, you'll have to say. But it was a must-win for Liechtenstein. They're going to be having a national holiday with this win, San Marino. It is a rarity. Could have arguably, I think, taken them on, perhaps 1-3 up, but a brilliant result. And then you'd be relying on Liechtenstein. Oh boy. Looking on to today, and you must be very, very careful. So do log in to footballtradingprofits.com, and I've made note in the research on dead rubbers. It's that part. So if you play dead rubbers and you lose, well, don't come running to me. These are the matches you have to look out for. Albania, Ukraine, must win for both teams, i.e. the draw is vulnerable. Any 0-0 at half time surely is vulnerable with the need for a win. Moving on down, Bosnia and Netherlands, it's a dead rubber for the Dutch and the Bosnians. It's certainly a Nations League to forget. So arguably very little for the Dutch to play for. Likely some Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga players in the Dutch squad will be rested either at the beginning or at half time, with league football returning very soon. And with this being effectively nothing to play for. Must win for the Czech Republic, I believe. So it's highly contested, i.e. must win for both. That draw is vulnerable. That's another one of the matches to shortlist, that's for sure. Hungary and Germany is a dead rubber. So don't be tempted in by the odds-on away team. Again, will Kai Havertz play? Will any of the other big guns play? It's a dead rubber. Malta and Andorra is a dead rubber. But if it's 0-0 late on for the Andorrans, it's a rarity that they will get a result. So you might want to lay that, but don't forget the previous time we laid the 0-0 in the Andorra, the opposing side had something to play for. Montenegro and Turkey. Turkey still alive? That is the question. On the brink of back-to-back promotions. So the words on the brink suggests they've still got something to do. So be looking at this one, 7:45, as one to follow. Slovakia and Estonia is a dead rubber as well. Must win for Azerbaijan against the Swedes. Highly unlikely, though, you'd have to say. But again, we might see a much changed Swedes side. Will the Newcastle manager like to see Alexander Isak playing in what is a dead rubber for the Swedes. So watch out for team news. Plenty to play for both teams. Wales against Iceland, so lay that draw. The very fact that the Welsh are odds on, I think they will get a result here today. We might see both teams to score, but I think, well, 1-2, drawn 3 for Craig Bellamy, football genius, and a 0-0 against Turkey was very impressive as well. The Turks do have a very strong attacking side. So we'd be looking at Wales to get a result here this evening. That would be another for your shortlist. So please ignore dead rubbers. That's what we'll take out of today's match. Sorry for the video being a bit late. I did do a video this morning. It didn't save, but I had to go out. So I can't do a video out in public. But it's a very quick one. Australia, well, the Asian qualifiers about to begin at midday with Japan. Very, very strong favourites last time at 1.25 delivered. And how? Watch out today. They could be scoring another 3 or 4 goals. We saw the African sides, especially the odds-on favourites, going astray. The ones I start here are odds-on favourites. North Korea, Kim Jong-un is playing. In his last match, the glorious leader did score 384 goals before half-time. Then he was substituted off. So watch out for Kim Jong-un, the great leader today up front for the North Koreans. Iran, very strong favourites. South Korea, quite simply, outscore Palestine. That'll be a neutral territory, of course. And the matches are starting, so I'll be preparing to watch them for you. AFC Wimbledon and Accrington Stanley. Why are AFC Wimbledon such short-priced favourites? Well, I can answer that. They're scoring an absolute shed-load at home. English League One, Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. I think it's a League Two match. And let's have a quick stroll through soccerstats.com. Do please familiarise yourself with this website. This is the go-to website, particularly when you've got 10 or more matches under your belt this season. You start to see patterns emerge, such as Wimbledon's scoring at home, 4-1-3, 4-3-0. So more likely to score than not, priced to keep this incredibly impressive home run continuing against an Accrington Stanley, who arguably are on a bit of a good unbeaten run. Only 1 loss in 7 for Accrington Stanley. Win, draw, win, loss, win away from home recently. So watch out. Accrington are about and are scoring 2 goals regularly as well. So interesting market. No draw in 7 away for Accrington. No draw in 7 overall, and then 6 at home for Wimbledon. Tells you to lay that late draw. It's not rocket science, is it? 10th against 18th. You can see all the AFC Wimbledon good work has come against 12th and lower. Accrington, though, against the top 10. Watch out. Playing this lot today, have beaten 9th and 11th away from home, and recently in that unbeaten streak. So I sniff Gillingham and Chesterfield. Look, the 2 away wins suddenly against 9th and 11th, playing 10th today. So you really can't discount Wimbledon, Accrington, and you would arguably look at them as the value today if this recent form, don't forget, continues against teams on either side of today's opponent. So fascinating match. The market's gone for Wimbledon goals, 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 as is usually the case at home. But I could see Accrington being a thorn in the side in a current very strong unbeaten run. Strong second half conceding stats, though, for Accrington. They might survive the first half, but will they survive the second? 10 of 14 goals conceded came second half. So that's something to look at. Any 0-0 perhaps, or 1-1 at half time might be layable. So that's a quick look through that match. It's not as clear cut as the market suggests, with Accrington in the best form, only 1 loss in 7 recently. And that's it for today. Oh, we've got Nations League, of course. We've gone through that already, haven't we? The dead rubbers, etc. So it's probably not one for me to stay up tonight. And from a disciplinary perspective as well, ignore dead rubbers. I can ignore the vast majority of the matches this evening by not playing. at 7:45. That will ensure I remain disciplined. Have a great day, Telegrammers. Well, you've seen Asia beginning, and I'll be on hand for that and the early kickoffs throughout the afternoon. But Africa is very untrustworthy with 4 odds-on favourites, I think, at home going astray yesterday. Have a great day.